always remember being younger and like walking through the woods to school with my mum, and like, I was chasing a butterfly, and she said, "Oh, don't do that, Carl." And I said, "Why?" She said, "'Cause they only live a day." I said, "Oh, all right, I'll get a dead one in the morning."
That's genius.
That's great. That's quick thinking, isn't it? Oh,
that's sweet.
The XFM Vault.
XFM.
We're talking about embarrassing stories and stuff, and I don't know if I've told this on the radio before. Have I told you, Carl? I'm not sure. But this was when I was working at the BBC. This is not even long ago, and I'd moved to London, and I was fairly new in London. And I was working at the BBC, and I had this BBC hire car, and I've never told it. If there's anyone listening who works for the BBC, I don't know if I can still get in trouble for it. But this BBC hire car, and it was like I'd been ferrying kind of actors and people and production people around all day in this car. And I was driving back, it was quite late, it was about sort of 7 or 8, and I was driving back, and I pulled in to get some petrol to fill up the car every day. And I went into this garage to fill up some petrol, and I was there, and two blokes came in a white van. Right, they sort of pulled into the forecourt, and I was filling up the car, and they went, "Hey, do you want to buy a couple of speakers?" And I said, "Yes, I do."
Yeah.
Because, to tell you the reason, it was like I was so flattered that they thought I'd be the kind of bloke who would, A, need some kind of classy speakers, and B, would like to buy them on the sly. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I thought, they like the fact
They've seen me. They've seen I look a bit of a hustler.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm a street sort of guy. You can see by the way I use my walk.
Exactly. Yeah. So I couldn't believe my luck. So they drove behind the garage, the little sort of garage bit at the back, and I went round there, sort of casually went round there, sort of locked the car, went round there. They went, open the back. You had 2 speakers in there. I said, "Are you sure these aren't knocked off, mate?" He went, no. We work for Dixon's. This is the story he spun me. We work for Dixon's, right? And we're delivery men. And if we make a delivery and the person's not there to sign for the goods, then we have to bring them back to the warehouse. But if we can sell them on the way back, then that's really good for Dixon's.
Dixon's must love that.
And instead of thinking, are you sure some kind of troubleshooter didn't... I mean, did someone go into Dixon's and go, you're not getting in the garage forecourt market?
Jones.
Exactly.
Get a couple of lads in a white van.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I sort of bought this story, and I was a little bit dubious, and I went, right, let me hear them then. And he wired them up to the car stereo, and boom, 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 they're playing. So it was some groovy hip-hop. I was thinking, great, these guys know what I'm into. Yeah. And he's giving me the talk and stuff. And, I said, I'm a bit worried these are knocked off. He went, no, listen, we got a bloke at Dixon's who can confirm this is fine, right? Phone him up, use my mobile, right? And quote this reference number, right? So I phone out, they go, dee-dee-dee-dee-dee, and it goes, I go, hi, some guys here in the garage forecourt trying to sell me some speakers. Just wanted to check. He went, it's fine. I went, should I just read the reference number or whatever? He went, if you want. And X14, and I went, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what that was, don't you? That was actually Mr. Dixon himself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I'm thinking, well, they sound great. They're giving me for a knockdown price. I'd say they were like 400 quid, they were like 200 quid or something. It was a good bargain. I was in the market for some speakers as well. Yeah. So, while they were loading
them in...
It's
all kosher, I phoned Dixon's.
Exactly, I phoned Dixon's, that's fine.
Yeah.
So while they're loading them in the back of the BBC hire car, right, I'm in there paying for the petrol, right, and the guy who's serving goes, right. He goes, what were you doing around the back with those blokes? Right? Because obviously there's security cameras filming this whole transaction, right? And he goes, what are you doing around the back? And I went, brilliantly, there's some old mates. Some of my mates were just having a chat and that. He went, oh, right, okay, like giving me obviously the evil eye. So I went back to the van. So I'm in the car now, and I'm driving with one of the blokes who's in the van with me, because I didn't have the money on me, so I had to go to the cash point to get the cash, right? So I'm driving with him, and the other guy's like following me in the van, and he was like a northerner like you, and he was giving it all the, all right, I tell him, my girlfriend's a DJ, she's got some of these speakers, they're fantastic, da-da-da, and he's giving me this, and then my mind starts working. Now that I've got a bit of time to think, I'm thinking, wait a minute, this all sounds a bit dodgy. Yeah. It dawned on me, Rick.
You know, Fool, are you? You're Streetwise. Exactly. You're Streetwise, Steve.
Not only that, I was thinking, how am I going to get them home? I've got to drop the car off at the BBC. How am I going to get these huge speakers back to where I live?
And how can I pay for them? Because I've just spent £100 on Find the Lady. With a couple of blokes in the square. It seemed like a fair game. Some of his friends were winning.
But so I explained to him, I said, I can't get them back to, like, Brixton, where I was living at the time. He went, don't worry, give us an extra 20 quid, we'll take them home for you.
Oh, that's good. Delivery. They do a whole service, you see. And there's also a backup guarantee. Did they have the guarantee? The 3-month guarantee?
They didn't.
No.
But okay. I said, I'm not sure about that. He went, well, why don't you put them in a cab, send them back, and your housemates can collect it? I was like, oh, no, there'd be no one in. And I was beginning to sort of get a bit conscious of, like, maybe this was a bit of a scam, after all. So I pulled into, like, a little side road, and I said, I'm not sure I'm into this now, actually. He went, what are you talking about? It's 200 quid for a pair of speakers. It's a bargain. You never get a bargain like this, mate. I'm going, not too sure, actually. I don't think I want them. He went, 150 quid, mate. 150 quid. 150 quid. I went, no. He said, 100 quid to you. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, this doesn't sound like the kind of work that Dixons would be doing.
Dixons don't do that when
I'm
I
not
go
sure
in.
This is it.
They never, Dixons never negotiate in that way.
When I go there, look around and I leave, they go, where are you going? I go, I go, no, we'll have anything then. Have anything for a
So
quid.
I stopped the car and the white van pulled up behind me with his mates in.
Sure.
And I said, can you get them out? I'm not interested. And he went, oh, 100 quid, mate. Oh, and he was just going, you tosser, you obviously want some speakers, and he was having a go at me. So I was carrying the speakers out and putting them back in the white van, and he was just shouting at me, he was going, 70 quid, mate. I was like, 70 quid from 200, this is ludicrous.
You realise that wasn't Dixon's policy then.
Exactly.
They don't usually shout you tosser as you leave the, as you leave the shop and walk down Camden High Street. They're not usually shouting you tosser.
You should have took the offer of, like, the monthly payments they've got on at the moment.
So I eventually put them in there, and I sort of knocked the deal on the head, and I got back in my car, and they were in theirs, and I just looked in the rearview mirror, and they were punching the dashboard, like, with aggression and venom, like we let that deal slip through our fingers. And I've never been so terrified in my life. I just sat there, and I was just thinking, oh my god, all I was thinking now is, what if I go back to the BBC, and they go, we've had a call from the police, the man at the garage, he saw you doing a dodgy deal.
I
in the back
love
of the
it.
car.
Yeah. Well, what you do is you put the hire car in